welcome to Lilybug's Library. My name's Linda. So we're going to do something a little different today. I had told you when I first got our literary tea party book that we were going to try a couple recipes and do some of that. So don't have too much to say about the books I've been reading. Still working on some, but I thought we'd do that for fun. So I was looking at, and excuse my arm, I've got it in a brace today. I'm trying to keep it straight because I've got something called cubital tunnel syndrome. Apparently, it's from holding my phone too much and my Kindle, probably mostly the Kindle, and all of these things. So I guess the only way to fix it is to keep those muscles straight because I'm shrinking them, I guess. I'm no doctor, so I don't know if that's right or not. But anyway, so I bought this to try and help me not to do that. But anyway, here we go. So, bringing out the Literary Tea Party book, and I looked for a couple of simple things that we could do. So, what we're going to do for food is called Mr. and Mrs. Beaver's Ham Sandwiches from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So, this is what they should look like. No saying that's what they're going to look like, but that's what they should look like. And so it is, they do it for like a crowd, right? We're just going to do one. But it would be 6 slices of bread if you're making it at home, 2 ounces of cream cheese, 6 tablespoons of pesto, and 6 slices of prosciutto. And I was trying to see if it tells us how many people that serves. Don't think so. But it says to the part that goes with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, it says, so down the steep bank they went and back to the cave, and Mr. Beaver cut some of the bread and ham into sandwiches, and Mrs. Beaver poured out the tea, and everyone enjoyed themselves. But long before they had finished enjoying themselves, Mr. Beaver said, time to be moving on now. So this apparently is the sandwiches that they had. So they also usually give a tea pairing with it. Now this one they didn't for whatever reason. So I went and looked at the list of teas and just chose one. And the one I chose was called Tea with Tumnus. Maybe that means something from the book, I think. Oh, no, that wasn't even the one. All right, I had a couple that were in here with bookmarks. No, what we ended up choosing was, here it is, Emerald City Tea from The Wizard of Oz. So it's got peppermint, spearmint, and lemongrass in it. And it says, click your heels 3 times and wish for another cup of this mint and lemon blend. So that's what we've got for the tea. So the tea I've already got prepared. I've got it in this little tea ball. So I'm going to tuck it into my teacup here. And it kind of floats, so hopefully this will work. We'll see. I got these from Amazon, and I have to say I didn't think they would float. I don't know why I didn't think they would float, but I didn't. So we'll leave that for a couple minutes and see if it does its magic. And in the meantime, we'll start the sandwiches. So it says, roll both sides of the bread flat with a rolling pin and then trim away the crust. All right, well, we're going to trim away the crust. I don't have a rolling pin that I can use, and I know this sounds crazy, but I'm actually using my rolling pin these days for physio exercises because I use them to roll my legs, which sounds bizarre, but it's to make it so the muscles in my legs aren't as tight. Painful to do, but anyway, hopefully it's working. So I'm just taking this may be a hot mess, I'm warning you, but I'm taking off the crust of these things. So give me 1 second here to get the crust off, and then I'm just going to squish them. It's like, we're going to make this work. So if nothing else, this will be a good how not to do it tutorial. All right, so we've got the crust off, and then I'm just basically going to press down with my hands to kind of squish them. Because I guess you have to have them kind of that way to roll them. All right, so let's see. So we did that, and then spread a thin layer of cream cheese over one side of each slice, making sure to coat the bread right up to the edges. Okay, so I'm going to get my cheese. All right, just give me a second here. Making a mess all over my table, but that's okay. All right. So what I was thinking of doing, I'll tell you all this while I'm coating this. Um, I know I'm like many people probably already thinking ahead to December and what we're going to do for December. So I actually bought a tea advent calendar. And so I was thinking that when December comes, I'm going to put a little video on each day, which may be a challenge, but we're, you know, if they're not too long, we can do this. We'll put a video on each day where we check out what that day's tea is, and then we'll make the tea and talk about different things to do with books. So we will try that for December. Okay, so we've got our cheese on, and then it says, starting from the short end, spread a thin layer of pesto, but stop when you get a ½ inch away from the other end. This will allow the cream cheese to act as a glue, holding the finished sandwich together. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my prosciutto. Okay, so it hasn't been opened yet, so let me just open it. Okay. I feel like the bread is not, oh my goodness, there we go. The bread isn't that long, so I'm not sure how easy it'll be to do that with the prosciutto, but we'll give it a try. Okay, and yeah, see that's, I feel like my bread's not long enough to leave that space, but we'll put some on there anyway. And then, okay, so then you put on your pesto. Oh, Oliver's coming to help. That's not a good sign when I've got all this food out and a tea that's not staying where it's supposed to. All right, so I've got the pesto, and so I'm putting on the pesto now. I think I'm going to put it on the other side where there is no ham. It makes it easier to go on. All right, and so then basically now you are rolling up the ends of the sandwich to turn it into like a jelly roll. So I'm gonna put it together, and we're gonna see if this rolls. Okay. Ah, I feel like it's breaking. Yeah, it's totally breaking. Okay, well this didn't turn out quite as nice as what theirs looks like. It's kind of a bit of a hot mess, but anyway, hopefully it tastes good. So for now, I guess I should take a bite, right, and see if it tastes good. All right, so I'll take a small bite. I don't want to be talking with my mouth full here, so bear with me. Oliver, you don't need to be here. It's actually pretty good. The pesto gives it a bit of a zip. And yeah, it's not bad. I mean, for a party, I could see going through all that and rolling it up as like a tea sandwich, but if I was just here by myself and decided to make it, I would just make a sandwich the same way and just eat it that way. But yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, so bear with me for a second. I'm gonna put this out of Oliver's reach. So one moment. Okay, so we will finish that later. For now, I'm gonna bring my tea over, and we'll see if it actually, yeah, see, it's not as brewed as I would like, but not bad. I mean, it gives me a bit of a tea color, if nothing else. So let's see how that blend is. So we've got peppermint, we've got spearmint, and we've got lemongrass. All right, so I'm going to take a little taste here, and we'll see. I have to do it with my other hand, which I'm left-handed, so that's a bit of a challenge sometimes. I'm not going to stick my little pinky out because, frankly, I'm lucky to be holding it with my right hand at all, so I don't want to do anything that would accidentally have me drop it. But it's good. It's the peppermint definitely is the strongest taste of the three. So you really, I know all of them are in there. I put them in there, but really it tastes more like a peppermint tea. So, which is not a bad thing, right? Okay, so that was that. So we did our first little foray into the literary tea party. So I'm going to show you the Advent calendar. And I got it from a local store called Sense and Sensibility. So here's what it looks like on the back. So it's got their website if anybody decides they want to order anything. And it says 24 days and 24 blends of tea. Enjoy a selection of our historical, literary, and pop culture themed teas, a mix of black, green, and herbal teas. So it does, and I thought this was because I bought it a couple of years ago from them, and they had done it a bit differently then. Excuse me. And so I think they've kind of changed it up a bit, which is understandable after a couple of years. But some things I liked better the other way, just my personal preference. So here's the advent calendar part. So each day we'll push out one of these and get the tea from it. But the part that they did differently is when I got it the first time, you would get a little bag of tea and you would get a little sticker on it that said the name of the tea and what was in it. So they did it differently this time. They actually put the teas in that in a folded piece of paper, and so it tells you what each of the teas for each day is. So I'm not going to read those to you because I think it's more fun when it's a surprise. So I'm not even going to read them to myself. I'm just going to leave it, and that's what we're going to do. And so that'll be ready for December, and we'll try and make each one, and I'll let you know what I think of them. So I can leave the link below to the website if anyone wants to see if they can order it. Maybe you can even get it before December, and then we can do it together. That would be fun. And I won't have every day. I'm not going to have a book a day read. I'm not that good. I know some people seem to be, but I think what we'll do instead is we'll talk about different things involving books. We'll do a few just a few games and things just to get into that holiday spirit. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. In the meantime, with November, still working on the books that I was working on. So I'm still reading Making It So by Patrick Stewart. Still working on the one Ballad of a Sober Man. Still working on the one Ballad of a Sober Man that involved the ER doctor who had an alcohol problem. What else am I reading? Wonderful Husband and I started 2-part Sugar, 1-part Murder. So we're just starting to get into that. I'm also reading one that I forgot to mention last time, but so far I'm about 75% through. So I think I can easily say that it's good because I've read enough of it. And it's by an author that is from Nova Scotia, and she wrote Lost and Found in Lunenburg, which is a place in Nova Scotia, and it's I'll tell you more about it when I've finished it, but like I said, so far it's really good. Now we did start a couple that we DNF'd. They just, especially with Wonderful Husband, when we're reading together, there's certain things we're looking for that we have to find, or else it's not going to make it. And the last one that we read or tried to read was, all right, get. He smells the food. The last one we tried to read was Blake Franklin PI. So, not saying it's not a good book. I think if you're into that sort of story with a male PI and kind of everything he goes through, and if you don't mind a lot of introspection, then I think it would be a good book. Now, we had a problem with the fact that there was not a lot of dialogue, and we felt we needed that. And we were like, I don't know, 5 chapters in, and he'd spoken to like, I don't know, 2 people, a couple of lines each. Like it wasn't much. Most of it was introspection about his father and his life, and all that internal dialogue, which is fine for somewhat, but I need a lot of dialogue with other characters as well. Get. So, okay, so we're gonna wrap it up there today. I'm gonna go and get Oliver off of where he is and put away the food and finish drinking my tea. So I'm glad you joined me today, and just a little taste of something different and a little bit of what's to come in December. So talk to you soon. Bye bye.